My name is Sarah Connors, and I'm 26 years old. Have you ever been in a relationship where someone expected you to become their mother instead of their partner? Last Tuesday night, after 18 months of dating, my boyfriend dropped a bombshell that made me question everything about our future together. We were sitting in his apartment after dinner when he casually mentioned his expectations for our relationship moving forward. What he said next made my blood run cold and forced me to make a decision that would change everything between us. The look of shock on his face when I responded, the silence that followed, and the text messages that came after still give me chills. If you're watching this, please subscribe and let me know where you're watching from. I'd love to hear if you've ever been expected to fill a role you never signed up for in a relationship. Now, let me take you back to that evening and show you exactly what happened. The apartment smelled like the takeout we'd just finished, containers still scattered across his coffee table alongside empty beer bottles. Jake had been unusually quiet during dinner, picking at his pad thai while scrolling through his phone. I should have recognized the signs, the way he kept glancing at me like he was building up to something important. After 2 years of friendship and 18 months of dating, I thought I knew all his expressions. "You seem distracted tonight," I said, clearing the containers into a bag. "Everything okay with work?" "Work's fine," he replied, finally putting his phone down. "Actually, I wanted to talk to you about something. About us." The serious tone made me pause, takeout bag halfway to the kitchen. We'd been having these conversations more frequently lately, discussions about moving in together, about the future, about what we both wanted from this relationship. I settled back onto his couch, tucking my legs under me. "What's on your mind?" Jake ran his hands through his hair, a nervous habit I'd grown fond of over the months. "My mom called today," he began. "She was asking about you again, about when she's going to meet you properly." I smiled. "Your mom sounds lovely from everything you've told me. I'd love to meet her too." "That's just it, though," Jake said, his voice taking on an edge I couldn't quite place. "She was telling me about how she and my dad worked together, how she took care of everything at home while he focused on his career." I nodded, unsure where this was heading. "Sounds like they had a good partnership." "Exactly," Jake said, leaning forward with sudden enthusiasm. "That's what I want for us, Sarah. A real partnership where we both know our roles, where everything runs smoothly because we're not stepping on each other's toes." Something in his tone made my stomach tighten. "What kind of roles are you talking about?" "Well," Jake said, as if it should be obvious, "I'm obviously going to be the primary breadwinner. I'm in tech, my salary's already higher than yours, and it's only going to grow. You work in social media marketing, which is great, but it's not exactly a career you build a family around." The words hit me like ice water. "Excuse me?" Jake continued, apparently not noticing my change in tone. "When we move in together and eventually get married, it makes sense for you to handle the home stuff. Cooking, cleaning, managing the household, like my mom did. She made sure my dad never had to worry about anything domestic so he could focus on providing for the family." I stared at him, certain I'd misheard. "You want me to be your mother?" "That's not what I'm saying," Jake protested, but his defensive tone suggested otherwise. "I'm talking about traditional gender roles, about efficiency. My mom was happy taking care of the house and raising kids. She found fulfillment in creating a beautiful home environment. Your mother chose that life," I said carefully. "She made that decision for herself in a different time with different options." "And I'm suggesting you could choose it too," Jake replied. "Think about it logically, Sarah. I'll be making twice your salary within 5 years. It makes financial sense for you to focus on the home front. Plus, you're naturally good at that stuff. You always know what groceries to buy. You keep your apartment spotless. You're organized." A cold realization was settling over me. "You've been evaluating me this entire time, haven't you? Seeing if I'd make a good housewife?" Jake's silence was answer enough. The man I'd fallen for, who'd seemed to respect my career ambitions and independence, had been mentally casting me in his mother's role from the beginning. "Sarah, don't be dramatic," he said finally. "I love you. I want to build a life with you. But every successful relationship needs structure, needs clearly defined responsibilities. What I'm proposing is practical." "Practical for who?" I asked, my voice rising despite my efforts to stay calm. Practical for you, maybe. You get to focus entirely on your career while I abandon mine to become your personal assistant. That's not fair, Jake said, standing up and beginning to pace. You'd be my partner, my wife eventually. You'd be building something important, creating a home, raising our children. Those are valuable contributions. Valuable contributions that happen to be unpaid, invisible, and completely dependent on your goodwill, I pointed out. What happens if you decide I'm not performing my wifely duties to your satisfaction? What happens if you leave? What happens if something happens to you? These are worst-case scenarios, Jake dismissed. You're overthinking this. Am I? I stood up to face him. Because it sounds like you've got my entire future mapped out without consulting me about what I might want. Jake's expression shifted, confusion replacing his earlier confidence. I thought this was what you wanted too. You always talk about wanting a family someday, about finding someone who's serious about commitment. I do want those things, I said slowly, but I want them as an equal partner, not as a replacement for your mother. There's a difference between building a life together and you hiring me as unpaid domestic help. You're being ridiculous, Jake said, his voice taking on an edge of frustration. This is how relationships work, Sarah. Someone has to manage the household. Someone has to prioritize the family. It's not about being unequal. It's about being complementary. Complementary, I repeated. Like how your father complimented your mother by going to work every day while she complimented him by doing everything else. That's not complementary, Jake. That's one person having a life and career while the other person enables it. My mom was fulfilled, Jake insisted. She loved taking care of us, loved making our house a home. She never complained about the arrangement. How do you know she never complained? I asked. Did you ever ask her if she had other dreams, other ambitions? Did you ever wonder what she might have accomplished if she'd had the same freedom to focus on her career that your father had? Jake fell silent, clearly never having considered these questions. The truth was becoming clearer with each word we exchanged. He didn't see me as an individual with my own goals and aspirations. He saw me as a potential replacement for the woman who'd taken care of him his entire life. Look, Jake said finally, attempting a gentler tone, I'm not trying to control you. I just think we'd be happier if we had clear expectations about our future together. Clear expectations based on what you want, not what we both want. I shook my head. Jake, I've worked hard to build my career. I have goals, ambitions, dreams that don't involve scrubbing your bathroom and meal planning your entire existence. Those dreams matter to me just as much as yours matter to you. But you could still have hobbies, Jake said, as if offering me a consolation prize. You could do freelance work, maybe start a blog, pursue your interests on the side while maintaining the household. On the side, I repeated flatly. My career would become a hobby while your career remains the priority. My dreams get relegated to spare time while your dreams get full support and attention. That's not what I mean, Jake said, but his voice lacked conviction. You're twisting my words. Sarah, I love you. I want to marry you someday. But marriage is about compromise, about both people making sacrifices for the relationship. What sacrifices are you making? I asked pointedly. Because from where I'm standing, this arrangement requires me to sacrifice my career, my financial independence, and my personal goals while you sacrifice nothing. In fact, you gain a personal chef, housekeeper, and eventually a nanny all rolled into one convenient package. Jake's face flushed red. You make it sound so transactional. That's not how I see you at all. Marriage is about love, about partnership. My parents have been married for 30 years, and they're happy. Are they, though? I pressed. Or is your father happy while your mother has convinced herself that his happiness equals her fulfillment? There's a difference, Jake. A huge difference between choosing to prioritize family and being expected to disappear into someone else's life plan. He stared at me like I was speaking a foreign language. He used to talk about wanting kids, about wanting stability. I thought we were on the same page about building something together. We were building something together, I emphasized, past tense. But what you're describing isn't building together. It's you building your ideal life while I provide the foundation for it. That's not partnership, that's servitude with a wedding ring. The silence stretched between us like a chasm. I could see Jake processing my words, his expression cycling through confusion, frustration, and something that looked almost like betrayal. as if I'd broken some unspoken contract he'd assumed we'd both signed. "So what are you saying?" he asked finally. "That you don't want to get married? That you don't want a family?" "I'm saying I want those things as an equal participant, not as your supporting cast member. I want a partner who sees my career as equally important, who's willing to share domestic responsibilities, who doesn't expect me to become his mother just because we fall in love." "That's not realistic, Sarah," Jake said, his voice taking on a patronizing tone that made my skin crawl. "Someone has to prioritize the home and family. It can't be 50-50 all the time. There have to be roles, structure, leadership." "Leadership?" I repeated, incredulous. "You mean you being in charge while I follow orders?" "That's not marriage, Jake. That's employment without benefits." "You're being dramatic again," he said, waving his hand dismissively. "This is how successful relationships work. Look around at all the couples we know. The ones who are really happy have figured out their roles and stick to them." I thought about the couples we knew, Mark and Jennifer, where Jennifer had given up her nursing career to manage their household and now seemed to exist solely to facilitate Mark's business trips and social obligations. David and Lisa, where Lisa had transformed from a vibrant marketing director into someone whose entire identity revolved around Pinterest-perfect dinner parties and coordinating their children's activities, while David pursued promotion after promotion. Those women all seemed tired to me, Jake. Tired and a little lost, like they'd forgotten who they were before they became wives and mothers. "They're fulfilled," Jake insisted. "They found their purpose in creating beautiful lives for their families." "Their purpose, or the purpose you and their husbands decided they should have?" I asked. "Did anyone ask them what their dreams were before assigning them the role of family support system?" Jake's jaw tightened. "You're overthinking this entire conversation. I'm talking about love, about commitment, about building something meaningful together. You're turning it into some kind of feminist lecture." The word feminist dripped from his mouth like an insult, and something inside me crystallized. This wasn't about different visions for our future anymore. This was about fundamental respect, about whether he saw me as a whole person or just as a potential lifestyle accessory. "You know what, Jake?" I said, standing up and gathering my purse. "You're absolutely right about one thing. We do need clearly defined expectations for any relationship to work." "Finally," he said, relief flooding his voice. "So you understand what I'm saying about roles and structure." "I understand perfectly," I replied, slinging my bag over my shoulder. "My expectation is to be treated as an equal partner whose dreams and ambitions matter just as much as yours. My expectation is to share both the joys and responsibilities of building a life together. My expectation is to be valued for who I am, not molded into who you think I should become." Jake's expression shifted as he realized where this was heading. "Sarah, wait. Let's talk about this more. We can figure out a compromise. The compromise you're offering is for me to compromise everything while you compromise nothing." I walked toward the door, my heart pounding but my resolve steady. "I'm not going to be your mother, Jake. I'm not going to disappear into your life plan. And if that's what you're looking for in a partner, then we want fundamentally different things." "You're overreacting," he called after me. "This is exactly the kind of drama that proves my point about needing structure and clearly defined roles in relationships." I turned back to look at him one last time. The man I'd thought I knew, the person I'd imagined building a future with, suddenly seemed like a stranger. Or maybe I was finally seeing him clearly for the first time. If expecting to be treated as an equal partner is drama to you, then yes, I'm definitely the wrong woman for you. I opened his apartment door, the hallway light spilling in around me. "Find someone who wants to be your mother, Jake, because I want to be someone's partner, not their replacement parent." The door clicked shut behind me with a finality that echoed through the empty hallway. My hands were shaking as I waited for the elevator, adrenaline coursing through my system like I'd just escaped something dangerous. In a way, I suppose I had. I'd escaped a future where my identity would have slowly dissolved into someone else's expectations, where my dreams would have been repackaged as hobbies to pursue in whatever spare time remained after managing someone else's life. The elevator ride down felt like traveling through time, each floor marking another year I might have spent convincing myself that Jake's vision of partnership was normal, acceptable, even loving. By the time I reached the lobby, my phone was already buzzing with text messages. "Sarah, you're being irrational. Come back so we can discuss this like adults." That was the first one. Then another arrived before I even made it to my car. "I love you. Don't throw away 18 months over a misunderstanding." A misunderstanding. As if my reaction to being assigned the role of unpaid domestic employee was simply a failure to comprehend his generous offer. I sat in my car for several minutes, reading message after message, each one revealing more about how Jake truly saw our relationship dynamic. You're letting your emotions cloud your judgment. This is exactly why relationships need structure and leadership. My emotions. Not our conversation about fundamentally different life philosophies, not his expectation that I would abandon my career ambitions, but my emotions were the problem. The audacity was breathtaking. I drove home through Tuesday night traffic, my mind replaying every moment of our conversation. How had I missed the signs? When had Jake started seeing me as a potential replacement for his mother, rather than as Sarah, the woman with her own career, her own goals, her own definition of what partnership should look like? The answer, I realized, was probably from the beginning. Those early conversations about his parents' marriage that I'd found sweet and nostalgic. His comments about how organized I was, how I always seemed to know what groceries to buy, how I kept my space so clean. I'd taken them as compliments, but now they felt like job interviews I hadn't known I was participating in. My apartment felt like a sanctuary when I finally walked through the door. Every piece of furniture I'd carefully selected, every book on my shelves, every small decoration that reflected my personality, my tastes, my journey. This space belonged to me, represented me, existed because of my choices and my hard work. The thought of giving this up to create someone else's ideal domestic environment made my stomach turn. I poured myself a glass of wine and settled onto my couch. The same couch where Jake and I had spent countless evenings watching movies, discussing our days, planning weekend adventures. Had he been mentally redecorating this space during those conversations? Imagining how it would look once I moved into his apartment and transformed into the household manager he apparently needed. My phone continued buzzing throughout the evening. Jake's messages grew increasingly frustrated as I failed to respond, his tone shifting from conciliatory to accusatory with each unanswered text. "Fine, don't respond. But you're going to regret throwing away a good relationship over pride and stubbornness." Pride and stubbornness. Not self-respect, not career ambition, not the desire to be valued as an individual. My refusal to accept his life plan was being reframed as character flaws that would ultimately lead to my regret. That was 3 months ago. Jake and I never spoke again after that night, though I heard through mutual friends that he's dating someone new, a kindergarten teacher who apparently loves cooking and has already started talking about wanting to be a stay-at-home mom someday. Good for them both, honestly. They found what they were looking for in each other. As for me, I got promoted to senior marketing director last month, leading a team of 12 and working on campaigns I'm genuinely passionate about. I'm dating someone new too, someone who asks about my work presentations with the same enthusiasm I show for his photography projects. Someone who splits grocery shopping and meal prep without being asked. Someone who sees my ambitions as assets rather than obstacles. Looking back, I realized that conversation with Jake wasn't really about traditional gender roles or household management. It was about respect, about being seen as a complete person rather than a supporting character in someone else's story. If you're watching this and questioning whether your own relationship expectations are reasonable, trust your instincts. You deserve a partner, not a boss. You deserve equality, not assigned roles. Thank you for listening to my story. Have you ever had to choose between love and self-respect? I'd love to hear your experiences in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe for more real relationship stories, and remember, never settle for being someone's replacement parent when you could be someone's equal partner.